But yeah, well, I mean, wine's not that bad, but it definitely, like if you haven't drank water a lot in the beginning of the day.
And I made sure to drink plenty of water. That's why that's why I think whenever I woke up, I wasn't hungover at all. It's just like my stomach didn't feel good when I was drinking it that night. I was like, this is, and like I had eaten because they served dinner.
Yeah.
So it's
was
not
the food good?
It was edible.
So
It was scraps.
first of all, because it's free, I'm always going to think everything's awesome. And that's something that people have always, like, anytime I'm like, oh, it was great. And they're like, it was just Ted's. And I'm like,
you're like,
yeah,
you
but
didn't
it's
have to pay
free.
for it. Yeah.
It's free
Like you
food
try to cater.
that they gave out of the generosity of their heart.
It was good for catered buffet style food.
Oh, yeah. See, that's not
I
bad.
thought it was pretty good. You had a roasted chicken, and then you also had a roast beef.
Option, yeah.
But I didn't have that because I wasn't into the beef, so I don't know how that was. But then they had mashed potatoes, and they had yams, and they had green beans and asparagus.
Was this a Christmas party? Or
Yes. Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah. And they had rolls, and they had 2 different kinds of pie. I got really excited because I thought it was cheesecake.
Yeah, it was pie.
And it was pumpkin pie. And I was like, oh, fuck. But it had,
This cheesecake's burnt.
but it was like, well, because I think,
It looked like cheesecake.
yeah, no, I think what it was is
Almost
technically,
like the pumpkin cheesecake type of thing.
I think it was pumpkin flavored cheesecake is technically what it was. But I was just like, yeah, cheesecake. And then I tasted pumpkin and I was like,
Yeah, which isn't a bad flavor, but
Do
if
you
you're
not
not
like it?
expecting
I'm
it.
tired of it. I'm tired of it. And you know what's crazy? I didn't have a single pumpkin flavored item for Thanksgiving. I didn't have any pumpkin pie. I didn't have any pumpkin
tired of the hype.
tarts. I just didn't want it. I think I'm still tired of it from last year.
Did you have a shit ton last year?
Maybe. Who knows? I don't remember. But that's how I
I mean, the
Rationalize
hype around
it.
is absurd.
the
Like,
hype.
the hype around pumpkin spice and like
And-
when people, I know it's like the fall thing. And
Yeah, yeah.
It's not bad, but like, oh my goodness, man, it's like the same thing when like the McRib comes back and you're like, this tastes like a.
And you heard it's coming
high
back for
school
the
lunch.
last time,
Yeah,
though.
I know.
I've never had it, so I don't know.
Somebody's.
I've never
gonna-
had it either, but it's Ben's favorite thing. Every time it comes back, we go and we get 5.
Yeah,
It's insane.
Last time I got 6 of them and I ate every one that's sitting.
It's insane.
Oh my god.
And then the man doesn't even complain about it. I'll just be like, "Oh, how do you feel?" And he's like,
I'm in a coma. That's why I don't
The
complain
McRib.
about it.
He knows how he's gonna feel going into it, so
Yeah.
he's like not gonna complain about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have like the little? They called it like a rib sandwich, like at your like school lunch or anything? That's
No.
what it tastes like to me.
I
I'm
know
like
what you're
this.
talking
I
about,
was
yeah,
like,
I know
this
what
is just the McRib.
"A rib sandwich?"
It looks
Yeah.
like it looks the same.
It looks just like the McRib. How it's like supposed to be like all these like baby back ribs, no
I
bones.
was
and they just put
never
it between
served
bread.
ribs at my school.
It was not ribs.
Okay.
It was a McRib.
It looked like
Yeah.
It was not ribs.
It's emulsified pork that is pressed into a patty.
There you go.
Oh my
That-
god, that
That's
sounds
probably-
terrible.
That sounds exactly like what it was at school.
And it had like that weird barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like, I don't know, it tasted weird to me.
It wasn't. It
wasn't sweet.
Yeah, like
It
some
was
days
more
when
tangy.
those were it,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. So on days when the other options were bad, you were like, I guess I'm having this McRib.
No. The bread was good.
The bread, yeah.
Pretty much it.
I don't remember that at all. Are you talking like high school?
I'm talking K through 12.
Okay,
Like, I remember seeing
thinking
it. Like,
I'm thinking elementary school, and I don't remember. But I do remember. Speaking of just like meat pressed into the shape of something. One thing that I always really liked were the chicken tenders that were like long rectangles. Dude, I thought those were fucking bomb.
I did not have chicken tenders. We had chicken tenders, but they weren't like long rectangles. They just looked like McNuggets.
It was literally like they took chicken and they just pushed it into a rectangle mold and they fried them and they were like chicken tenders. And the meat was like dark brown.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
it tasted so good. I fucking loved those chicken tenders. Every time
Well-
came into the kitchen or the cafeteria and I saw it was chicken tenders and be like, fuck yes.
Well, I was going to say, sometimes they serve breakfast and I was like, this could be lunch. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like a pizza. The one that looked like a pizza. I don't
Yeah, the
remember what it's
breakfast
called.
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate the sausage that they put on pizza, so I never ate that. But
Oh, yeah.
it was a popular item. I didn't really ever eat breakfast. Because it was like at our school, if you didn't have the breakfast pizza, you had like the cereal that you had to make yourself in like a
Yeah, with the carton. of milk.
and it's like
That's supposed
you're
to
not
be your drink, but now they're like, well,
now it's also
Use it wisely.
ration it out.
now you also have to use it with your dish, and then we would have to go and eat them on the bleachers. We didn't have like tables to go sit at, so I'm not gonna go sit on the bleachers and like try to make
No,
this.
cross your legs. So you can make
Yeah,
a table.
what is this? I'm not doing it.
They didn't serve you breakfast in like the cafeteria. They had it or they had it in the cafeteria. Just
They
didn't want
had
to
it-
set up the tables. Said, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. They would set it up in the
yeah.
cafeteria, and then you'd walk over to the bleachers. They'd be like, over there, bleachers. And then you'd just sit.
Just storming hella hard over there, bleachers.
and-
I feel like your watery cereal.
Eat in the bleachers.
So yeah, they never gave us water, huh? They always gave us milk.
It was
No,
milk.
yeah.
You had milk,
That's-
chocolate milk, or strawberry milk.
How crazy is that? Yeah,
Yeah.
no water. What if I wanted water?
Exactly.
They got a drinking fountain. Go outside.
And that's ridiculous. Gosh, kids these days with all their water bottles, they'd be like,
didn't
what do you
have
mean
that.
water fountain? What apparatus am I going to carry my water in?
I
Hands.
remember for like a little bit, probably like K through like at least second at my school, and maybe it was just like our school district for a little while.
Yeah.
One of the like producers that we got milk from, it wasn't a carton, it was a bag,
What?
like bagged
Yeah,
milk.
you told me about that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was a bag of milk. And so like you literally would yeah, you'd have to punch a hole through like a little bit of it like a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
But obviously like we were a K through 8 school, so like all the little kids would just fucking right out the other side, and then like their McRib sandwich would be like covered in chocolate milk.
That's fucking terrible.
And then it was like I can't remember when, but eventually
So all the kids just smell like rotten
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
by
You
the
know
end of the
what
day.
it is. It's the people, it's the school board members
Yeah.
of that place. They hate kids.
yeah,
And so they're like bagged milk.
bagged milk.
Well,
Let's watch these kids fucking
It's
suffer.
so fucking funny though, because then I'm always like, man, bagged milk. 'Cause people are like, oh, that's a Canadian thing, and I'm like, I had it like K through something. But yeah,
Really? Canadian?
in Canada, it's normal for like milk. Yeah, they just get bagged milk.
Yo, in Mexico, you get soda in a bag because the store
Interesting.
wants to keep the glass bottle so they can return it.
Ah, so they put it in a bag.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just put some ice in a bag with the straw, and then you make sure you don't let go of it because there goes your drink.
Yeah. Sounds like bagged milk.
Oh my God. That's amazing. And people pay for that. I mean, yeah, if people pay for it and you're getting money back because you're saving the glass, that's
And then
smart.
what they also do is if you can do that,
That's interesting.
you can get like an agua fresca mango and then tie the bag up, put it in the freezer, and then just later just
Have
Like
a
suck on
slushy
it.
type.
Oh, okay. That's smart. I mean, you can't do that with a glass bottle.
Can't do it with bagged milk, I don't think.
the only benefit is you can see if it's bad.
Yeah.
Like if it went bad, you know?
Yeah.
The soda? Oh, the
No,
milk.
The milk.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't.
But yeah, bagged
didn't-
milk. I remember it being.
That's crazy. I don't remember that. I think a lot about those chicken tenders. I think about I'm like, I wonder if
Oh,
I can
what-
find them. Like, I wonder if I call my old cafeteria lady.
What
Because
about
we
the-
all have their numbers whenever we
round
had
ones?
questions about threads. I'm kidding.
What
What?
about the round nuggets?
That's what we had.
I liked those too.
Yeah.
I liked those too. I guess I liked all of the chicken because then they would also have a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
probably
yeah,
made
yeah.
from the same stuff that I really liked. I liked
Yeah,
all their
the
chicken stuff.
sandwiches were really good. It's hard to mess up like chicken though.
And I liked their hamburgers too. Hamburger
Yeah,
day was
burgers
bomb.
were good. Burgers
Yeah.
were good.
I never liked the pizza.
Well,
but
the pizza for us was literally on like white bread, and then it was like cheese and like pepperonis and stuff. Like it was not real pizza.
right.
You
No,
had
it's
toast.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
It was
real.
like someone tried to home make the little handheld pizza things that like DiGiorno does. Not the regular circular pizza, but the flatbread pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like someone just fucking.
One of my favorite things, again, not chicken related, from the cafeteria is I always used to love their ranch dressing. And I know it's just hella watered down.
Tawny.
Fucking love their ranch dressing.
Tawny used to put the ranch dressing on. You remember the super chocolatey brownies? Like they were literally like so. She would dump it in the ranch from school.
What?
Yeah.
Wanted a white brownie.
Oh, I've never done that.
Oh, yeah.
I just loved salad day because it'd be like, all right, I got my salad cereal. You got your water dressing with your pieces of lettuce floating around, and you would just pick it out. That was, God, I loved it.
I'm trying to think what I didn't like. I don't remember though.
There wasn't a lot of stuff that was like really terrible. Just none of it was really that good.
Yeah.
Like even the chicken, you're like, I know it wasn't like really that good, but you were just pumped for it at the time.
Because it's the best of
Yeah.
the bad situation.
Yeah.
Or not even a bad situation. It's the best of the food. I could have made my own lunch, but I wasn't going to do that.
You were a weirdo if you brought your own lunch back then.
See? And okay, so when I was in elementary school, you were cool if you brought your own lunch because that was a period of time. I don't know if kids, it had to have been the kids that were deciding. Kids were deciding that it was cool because it was like, oh, you don't have to have the gross school provided lunch. You get to have like actual home food. That's cool. But then when I got to middle school, I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump on this.
Lunch ladies.
Try to get an extra cut of
I
nugget.
guess so. Another spoonful of juice or something.
No, I'm gonna jump on this trend of like, you're cool if you bring your lunch. So middle school, I get my lunch box and I start bringing my lunch. But then in middle school, it's not cool if you bring your lunch because then you're trying too hard. So I missed it. I was like, I wasn't cool in elementary school because I had to eat the school lunch.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try. And then I wasn't cool because then it wasn't cool if you were trying. So
Yeah.
Well, the middle school I went to, they had 3 separate lines. So you can get like 3 choices.
what?
That's pretty nice. We didn't get
We
that
just
till,
had
like, high
one
school.
line.
That's why I was thinking like.
One
'cause
shitty
to
ass
me, it was
line.
easy. You could just choose whatever you wanted.
We had one line, but it was always like 2 or 3 options.
Okay.
No, you had one line and you ate the one item that they had all through elementary school and all through middle school. In high school, you had options.
In high school, we had a few options, but yeah, at my school, the K through 8, we always had like, I think at least 2. So it was like
No.
the shitty pizza bread and like the burger. And then like everybody would eat the burger. And if you were last in line, you might be stuck with like the shitty pizza bread or something.
No, see, that's crazy. That whole, I've seen scenes in like high school movies or TV shows where it's like, oh my gosh, Tiffany got the last cheesecake slice. And so now I'm stuck with carrot cake.
See, but it's
and I'd
never-
be like, that's insane. I never had this crazy running out thing because we had no choices. We had no options.
We only
You had
have
one.
chicken today.
Yes,
So
that's
you're
what
all
I'm
getting
saying.
Chicken.
We never ran out of anything. All of us were happy with our shitty food.
I mean, we weren't.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, that's
What?
always a good one.
Oh, the one that came.
Oh, that's
the
all I
Smuckers
could
that came
Mm-hmm.
prepackaged.
Because that used to be what you got.
The free reduced lunch.
Yeah, it used to be you only got PB&J. They wouldn't give you like healthier, nutritious things. And then
I mean, PB&J compared to some of that stuff probably is the more nutritious choice.
No side effects.
Yeah.
no
It's
side
not,
effects.
what was the McRib? Compressed.
Compressed pork.
Yeah, but
They just put ridges in so it looks like ribs.
but you get, at least with the school provided lunches, you get like 3 types of food. You get like a main thing and a couple sides, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah, usually like a fruit cup or something
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, but like all of a sudden free or reduced lunch, they're like, well, you don't eat as much food as the rich kids do here.
not even a plate. They just give you the food.
Yeah. Well, do you remember like ever like at the lunchtime like going into debt? Being like,
Yes.
Like the lunch lady would be like, you have negative 25 cents on there, but
Tell your parents.
tell your parents. And then they'd be like, every once in a while they'd be like, well, you have $3. I can't give this to you. And you're like 8 and you're like, I can't eat today.
Oh, because I remember putting in like a code.
So dark.
Yeah, we had like fucking punch cards.
We had a card that we would swipe.
No, I just always had to put in my number.
No, I
Like
think
a
eventually
keypad.
we did a number type thing, but I remember vividly the because it was like they set up the line going like down the long side of the basketball court, and then it was like right behind the hoop was the cafeteria, and in that little corner was where they had the thing, and they're like, pick up your fucking punch card. It felt like I was like in a factory, like
Well, that's how they feel too, because they're just feeding like hordes of children at a time.
Yeah.
They're just like slop. It's probably very similar to the prison system.
probably.
I mean, I just got done watching Orange is the New Black. I'm way late to that show, way late to that trend. Kind of like the whole bringing your own lunch to school thing. I'm not quite sure when to hop on or hop off a trend. But yeah, so it seemed very similar. It brought me back to school,
lunches.
school lunches. I was like, oh, dude, I remember this.
There's the chicken fingers.
Yeah.
Not knowing where the fuck to sit. God, that sucks. Of course, we didn't have that problem last night. Oh my gosh. I felt so like, because we got to the Christmas party a little late. I mean, they said it started at 5:45, but the food wasn't going to get served until 6:45. So people were just showing up kind of anywhere in between then. And we showed up probably at like 6:10, 6:15. So kind of.
Well, that's a cool kid
Yeah.
thing to do.
Right.
Fashionably late.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying. So we got there and a lot of people had already sat down, and a majority of the people there are drivers that I don't know, that I've never met. I know my 4 office people, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there was like 200 people there. So I was like,
Dang.
this is terrifying. So I just like ran to the first table with empty seats that I could.
Was it at a venue or something?
Yes, it was at a hotel.
Okay.
And I picked a table with only one other person there because I was like, surely she can't say no. And I was like, can we sit here?
All of these are taken.
I know. That's what I was waiting for.
Takes off an earring. A ring.
But a couple of my office friends found me later on throughout the night, and they were like, Haley, there you are. We've been looking for you. Come sit with us. We got a spot for you at our table. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, so you left that lady by herself?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And you know who she was? Our new vice president's
I was gonna say a
girlfriend.
VP or something?
Yeah, our new vice president to replace the guy that got fired.
Damn.
Yeah, his girlfriend. We were in a conversation. My friends came over and was like, "Hey, we got a spot for you." And I was like, "Oh, cool." Immediately got up and left.
Yo,
Ow.
peace, bitch.
Bye.
Nope, didn't even say bye. I think her name was Kate. I don't know. It was great though.
She's going to remember that.
Yeah.
Well,
All of a sudden, the VP's like, so, at the Christmas party this weekend.
she's very pretty. I'm sure this is like she's got a lot of other things going for her than the holiday Christmas party
Than
at
running
her
into-
boyfriend's job.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed because I did not see tit,
Why are you looking at me?
but we saw vag.
You saw vag?
We saw vag.
Dress?
And
Dress malfunction?
no.
Conscious. It looked in.
Conscious choice by the female to show it.
Nice.
And then when I turned to the rest of my table to be like, oh my gosh, I'm astonished that I'm seeing this woman's genitalia, they went, is this your first Christmas party? And I was like, oh my God, that shouldn't be your reaction. And they were like, oh, you're a Christmas party virgin. This is cute.
They're like, man, you never
Welcome
seen
to
some
the
beef
family.
curtains? You haven't had school lunch in the day? What the hell?
And like literally my boss, who was very like stiff collar, very like,
Appropriate.
yes. His wife was laughing at the fact that I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. And he comes over to the table and he's like, oh, what's so funny? And she's like, oh, Haley thinks it's so hilarious that we can see the vagina of the woman at the table next to us. And my boss is just like, oh, yeah, Christmas party.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
He's like, I'm surprised we haven't seen more.
Yeah.
It's insane. It literally, so,
He's like, is that the first of the night? 8 o'clock? It's pretty late for that.
and it was before, wait, no, I think it was after.
It was probably around 8.
No, Ben's like got it time and date stamped when he saw this woman's vagina. No,
Burnt into my memory, and I don't want it there.
no, I think it was after we ate. It was after the food, right?
So she had enough time to get some drinks.
Yeah,
is what
I
you're
wouldn't have
saying.
been able to eat if.
Yeah, it was after the food, but literally we're sitting at a table we're at the front of the room. You know, there's a dance
Are
floor.
these, round tables or square?
Round.
No.
Round. So there's a dance floor, all the tables, and then back hall. So we're like right at the front next to these. Oh, and in the back, they've got like cornhole going on. So
Nice.
there's also some things going on. So like not everyone is looking at the front, but sitting at the table next to us just by themselves is a guy and a girl. They got this whole table to themselves. They have several empty glasses on the table in front of them. However, the drinks were also a little watered down. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, they're not, that toasted.
Buzz.
I have to show you. Okay. So,
She took photos.
no. No, but do not think that I was not asked because one of my female coworkers that I was sitting with was like, "Hey, can you see? Okay, so if it happens again, take a picture. I want to see." I was like, "Bitch, I'm not taking pictures of this woman's vagina so that you can see." And she's like, "I don't want to miss out." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, this is not what's happening."
Then don't look away. Like, I don't know.
You think there's like an over-under on how many fucking vaginas you'll see? Like a side, because everybody was saying, "Oh, first Christmas party."
That's true. That's true.
There's got to be a couple people who are like,
I
"Hey."
bet I see one a year. I guess that's a thing. I bet I see at least one a year, if not vag, tits.
Something.
Like I bet I'll see something. But so this is a circle table. Okay. And they were sitting with their backs to the dance floor. So they're facing the room. I'm the girl. This is the guy. The guy is
But
like,
they were perpendicular. They were facing each other, and the dance floor was here.
no, I know, but I'm just saying like their back was to the dance floor. They were like kind of like this towards each other. So dance floor, they're like facing each other, shut the fuck up. And then back of the room. And granted, they're on the far side of the table. So it's not like, and she was sitting down, so it's not like everybody can see it. But if you're sitting at the table right here, which that's where we were, I mean, she was literally looking like right at me. She just leaned back in her chair and like dead on staring at the guy. Just lifted her fucking dress. Just lifted it. Kept lifting it. And I was like, is this really going to happen? And then I saw a vagina and I was like, this is happening. And I just like looked away and I was like, and I like looked at Ben because I didn't know if I really saw what I thought I saw. And Ben was like, and I was like, oh God, that's what
Like, step up your game.
that's it. Okay. And then because the guy that she was with, his back was to us the whole time, I saw him later up at the line for one of the bars to get a drink. And he looked like he was probably old enough to be her father.
If not grandfather.
Like literally. He had
yeah.
white hair.
There you go, dude. Good for him. Good for him.
It just okay, so I want to say because of the spirit of all of it, good for him.
Good for him.
But because
Seeing the package, I would disagree.
because of the quality of the person he
Hey, you don't know
got,
what this guy's going through.
I've got
He's about
some
to have more
idea
trauma.
because of what I saw last night. Now I know.
Oh, that's so funny.
But I'm sure he had a good time. Sure he had
Exactly.
fun.
Good for him.
Don't know. And I don't know. The thing is, I obviously pointed out that I saw her vagina to
Yeah.
the people that I was sitting with, but beyond that, I didn't say too much else about it because I don't know which one of them works.
I was gonna say you don't know who these people
You
are.
almost had it.
Oh
You
God
almost
damn
had
it.
it.
I don't know which one of these people works with me. So like I'm assuming it's the guy. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
I can kind of say anything about the girl. But what if she's a dispatcher?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's just so no titties, but we saw vag. That's. But
lot.
what about you guys? You know what's been going on
Literally almost nothing.
in your
We just been
worlds?
Kicking it. Got drunk on Friday. Didn't do anything yesterday because we were super hungover, but that's about it, really.
I wanted to get drunk.
But the drinks were watered down.
Well, that and
The what?
when I went to go to the table with my friends, they were sitting at a table with my fucking boss. And then when he got up and left, I was like, guys, why the fuck are we sitting with him? And they were like, no, I know. I'm sorry. We were here first, but then he saw us. And I was like, God damn it.
It's a Christmas party, though. Drink anyways.
I know.
Just don't let him see your vag. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Clearly, I know. If that's the bar, just don't
Yeah.
let people see my vag. I mean, y'all saw me pretty
like-
fucking drunk, and I don't think any genitalia comes out.
No genitalia came out that
All
night.
right.
Just
All
don't
right.
wear a dress.
Yeah.
And I made sure to wear pantyhose because I never wear underwear, so I had to make sure that I was wearing something.
That lady was wearing.
I know, and that lady was also wearing no underwear.
She was free balling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which that I don't judge because again, I like never wear underwear, but God.
Man, wasn't it cold that night?
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing too. So the dress I was wearing, first of all, I honestly it was a dress I probably could have not worn underwear and no one would have noticed because it went down to almost my ankles. So like I was wearing a really long dress and I still was like, oh, I better put something on underneath.
Can't show my ankles.
This lady was wearing, it was kind of like the dress I saw of the very first prostitute, the purple dress that was like,
I remember the story. Yeah.
it was strapless and it was really short. It didn't even probably go midway down her thigh. And so it was just like a really short black dress anyways. So she didn't have to even lift it very far to show her vagina. So
Especially when she's sitting down.
I thought maybe it was a mistake, but she was just like, I've never seen someone so intently make eye contact while flashing their genitalia. It was kind of intense. I was like, what a baller move.
Must be confident.
I know. I want you to make intense eye contact with Jackie and Cass and just take your pants off.
Whip our dicks
just
out.
Just whip your dicks out and just see what they do. She didn't advance with it. Don't advance with it.
The response is usually a little different. When you go, oh man, her vag is out. Versus, whoa, that guy's dick is out.
I know. See, and that I will say, I think it's very unfair that woman's vag was completely out. And if she had been a man, we would have called the police.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think that's so unfair. I think we should have called the police on her vagness.
Her vagness.
Well, they were gone by the time the cops showed up.
Oh, hush.
Yeah.
But
she already got her money. She left.
But I thought it was fun. I was a little bummed out because at the last work Christmas party we had, whenever they had prizes, they weren't all of equal caliber, but they had enough prizes that everybody went home with something. And this place wasn't like that, which again, it makes sense because if you've got 200 people coming, that's insane.
The last person gets like a fucking pencil or something. Like, oh, there you go.
Pair of socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people like their socks.
Yeah, some people do. Do you?
Not really.
You don't have
I have new socks that I haven't worn. I'm like, I'll just keep wearing my old ones. But my old ones are pretty bad. Like,
I can't ever keep socks for very long because fucking I feel like holes always appear, and I don't even think I'm very hard on my socks. But I don't know. I think it's just I don't know if they make socks just cheaply now. I always have holes in my socks. I mean, I can't keep them probably for more than 3 months.
Well, where do you get the holes?
On my toes.
Damn, cut your nails.
On my toes and on my... Where's the other one? Well, I know how that one happened because I have a few holes on the very bottom of my socks, just like right on the bottom of my foot. I think that happens because there's a spot on my floor where there's just the tips of some nails sticking up on the floor, and so they just catch on those nails. I think that's where they come from.
That might be why you can't have them for more than 3 months.
That might be what it is, but we got some of the nails out. We'll get there. I also went to the at-home store today.
The one like down over there
on Meridian. Yeah, they had all their like fall and Halloween stuff on sale, which was exciting because I was like, I don't really have decorations.
So did you get a shit ton?
So I got some stuff. Not a shit ton, but I did get some stuff. I got some cute things. I got
for next year.
Yeah. I got some little gnomes, and then I got a little owl. It'll be very cute. It's gonna be good. And then, did I already tell you that next week is gonna be a Christmas episode?
I heard something about that.
Okay, cool. We got some stuff for that too.
Okay,
so yeah,
cool.
We got.
I'm not gonna be here.
Stuff.
I'll be at the Christmas party.
Having a Christmas party?
No.
Oh, okay.
And when they do, I don't show up because I'm like,
I'll bleep that. I'll bleep that, of course.
No. Yeah.
Do they? Or no, I guess they have a Christmas potluck maybe. I don't know if they do anything.
Well, they had something recently. I forgot what it was.
I think it was Thanksgiving, but I was sick. I didn't go.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I remember you
yeah.
talking
And then
about
I
that.
think you just worked remote.
I haven't gone in. I don't care.
I am excited to go to the next Christmas party,
Yeah.
which is on the 17th, which is, that's a little closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
That one is they're just going to Top Golf.
Nice.
And that's why I think that'll be fun because we
That's
won't
cool.
just be like sitting and eating and drinking. We'll kind of be doing something.
Yeah.
And it's going to be with a lot less people because the Oklahoma City, there's so many people because it's so huge. But this one's in Chickasha. And I think altogether they've got maybe 25 people. So my anxiety is going to be like way, way
That's
down.
cool. That is cool. Plus, top, like you said, you got something to do.
Yeah.
Something, maybe one person is good at and the rest of everybody else is just like shanking balls left
Oh,
and
Right.
you're the good one. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to say because I'm not good. It's hard for me to even hit the dang ball. So
Watch Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
yeah, I wish I had that kind of talent.
That would be so sweet.
And to be able to display it like that in
Yeah.
front of like a whole bunch of guys, they'd be like, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. But so I'm excited
What, is there no girls there? At this company, just a bunch of guys work there.
Really, it's a majority men. Yeah. Just because,
Well, because it's mostly the drivers and stuff, right?
yeah, it's mostly, and I mean, for whatever reason, I think it's just more men have their CDL than women, probably because women want to do other things or those jobs just aren't as marketed to women.
So, like,
probably because they see women as like a mother. They can't be gone from their home.
So, like you said, like your office is really like 4 or 5 people, essentially.
Yeah.
So, like, for your office, there's like 4 to 5 people. It's probably like most offices, unless there's like a big one or something. How many drivers though? Like, so like, what's the ratio of like the drivers to like an office?
So like, okay, Chickasha, there's like 25 people and 4 of them are office people.
And then the rest are like people out in the field and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
In Oklahoma City, I want to say we've got 60 to 65 drivers.
Yeah.
We got a lot. We got a lot. You guys been watching the World Cup?
Not really, but I mean, been paying attention to it as to like who's winning and stuff.
Yeah. Have you actually been watching?
So I think, I've been watching a lot.
USA is still in, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Amazing.
they got beat by the Netherlands.
Did they in the second round?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah. So are they out
Are
in
they
that?
out, or they just have to win the next game?
I'm not sure because as soon as Mexico got kicked out, stop caring.
When did Mexico get kicked out? Who'd they get kicked out to?
Dang, it was like a week ago. I think last Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Was it? No, it wasn't Saturday. It was actually, I don't remember, like Tuesday maybe. I've been watching so many games that I don't know which one's.
Yeah.
And they're
I'm
at
sure
like
they
such
start-
random times too.
Right.
Well, that one was at 1, so
Yeah.
I worked from home, so I watched it during my lunch break.
Yeah.
Nice.
But man, who was the team?
That's
It
nice.
didn't matter though because on that one, so basically the way the scoring system worked, they had to score at least 4 to 5 goals to even make it to like group 16.
Yeah.
So they only scored 2 against the other
okay.
team. They beat the other team, but they still got like both teams lost.
Okay. I
Because
see.
in their group, they were at the bottom.
Okay.
So
Okay.
It was a good game though. They pushed
they-
hard,
they-
but they should have pushed that hard on the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would have avoided them being in this position. But
Of course.
I've been watching Brazil, France, not the USA.
They lost to Sweden,
The U.S. did.
16th.
So are they out?
Well, they won the last game that I see on here. Mexico, I mean.
No, they lost.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
He
won,
just
but
said
they
that.
won,
He
but
won.
they didn't end up advancing.
Because in their group, they had the lowest points because for the first 2 games, they didn't score.
Okay. So Mexico
just-
lost to Sweden, but they technically won.
And I think the U.S. is still in it. I just love how everyone in America and how like almost none of us like care about soccer, but the fact that we tied England, everyone was like in uproar about it.
Yeah. Like people were saying it's a boring game, and then people were saying it was a good game.
Yeah.
But no one scored. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been paying attention to the Iranian team. I was until we kicked their ass, but I was paying attention to them because they've got some trades, and so they've got some new players and some new coaches. So they've got some fucking language barriers now. So
I didn't know that.
it's
Their coach is
fantastic.
French.
Their new coach is French, so it's fantastic to hear this Iranian coach screaming in French at this translator, who then has to scream in Arabic to this team. But he's like, I'm not. It's this guy. This guy's saying it. Like, I think you're doing great. I think you're doing great.
Oh,
Good job.
I remember who they played. Saudi Arabia. That's who they played.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, like they beat them, but they didn't advance because they didn't have enough points.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Well, I mean, and like the team of Qatar is already out, right?
I think they lost the first game.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty
The
sure.
opening game they lost.
Yeah, they were out like super early, so now they've spent all this money.
But did you hear about the extra winning? Whoever wins the World Cup this year, what they're gonna get?
No,
So since there's no like alcohol allowed in Qatar, they didn't allow.
which is such bullshit.
Budweiser.
They didn't allow
warehouse.
Budweiser. Budweiser basically had like
A stock
in
of-
their supply chain, a stock ready to go for like the World Cup, and then they weren't allowed in there. So now whatever country wins the World Cup, everything that was supposed to go to Qatar, Budweiser is just going to give it to the winning team.
Oh
I
my
saw that,
god!
but I was like, I don't know if that's true or not.
No wonder teams started stepping up like halfway through. We're like, guys, where was the synergy in the beginning?
Did you see the South Korea's team?
No.
Their 4 defenders are Kim, and then their goalie is also Kim.
Kim passing to Kim, going over there.
Pretty
We got
much.
Kim open in the
It's
corner.
so funny.
Ball gets stolen from Kim. They took the shot. Kim with the block.
If you ever can't pay attention and you're missing out on like, wait, who just what just
the
happened?
Kim.
Who did that? It's fine. It was probably Kim.
At that point, do you think he's just like, but like obviously like in Korean, just like calling out numbers? He's like 10 passes to 1, 1 passes
I
to 2.
assume, I don't know.
I know
You know
because
what I
they've
mean?
just got the same.
Also,
Yeah,
there's,
they've got pictures of just this. Yeah, the massive
yeah.
stock.
Yeah.
Of the freaking Budweiser. That's crazy.
Well, because normally everywhere else, everybody gets completely thrashed when they go to the games.
That's hilarious. Well, and it's just the fact that they were like, yeah, no, we're going to allow alcohol. And then they were like, no, never
Well,
mind. Now
apparently,
we're not going to.
like there is places where you can sit down and have drinks, like wine and all that. But it's like, I don't know, like a tent or something like that.
Like a very specific.
kind of
Yeah.
like a designated smoking area, but
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Alcohol doesn't leave with you when you walk out.
Well, I wouldn't have traveled to Qatar to watch the games, but it's cool that
They got to host it.
they got to host it.
They're like one of the richest countries in the world.
well,
Yeah,
the stadiums
they
are
are.
nice too.
Didn't they just build it though? That
I was
stadium,
gonna
like,
say-
specifically.
Well, they have
an entire
4.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to build all
Oh,
of
like
it.
the homes too. They had
Yeah.
to build like
Yes, and the
apartment
hotels.
complexes,
Yeah,
yeah.
all of it. They were like, "Hey, if we even win this bid, we're gonna spend $20 billion." And
I thought it was like 100 billion or something.
it was like, "Oh, I just meant for on the bid."
Oh yeah, I was talking about
They
like, the
they
stadium.
spent they were the country that spent the most amount of money on the bid itself. They
Ugh.
spent the most amount of money, and I'm just like, was it worth it, guys? Because this shit,
You guys couldn't even have Budweiser. Is it worth it?
well, and now they're getting hounded. I mean, they're not. They're like, oh, we can never be progressive enough for the Western countries, and I'm like, what? You're still killing people for loving their same gender. So yeah, like it's just
Yeah.
don't invite all that attention. When you invite that attention, people are gonna whine and complain. When we made the meat for my family's Thanksgiving, we made the Cornish game hens. Fucking Ajax got one of the hens. You ever want to like kill a dog, but you don't want to? Like, it's all dogs do something that's annoying. The annoying thing that Ajax does is when you're gone, if he's not locked away, he will get into food.
Yeah.
He will get into the trash can.
He'll figure out a way.
Yeah. And it's like they weren't even unwrapped. We had the chickens defrosting in the sink, in a sink full of cold water. So like nothing was being cooked.
Yeah.
Nothing was smelling delicious.
But he's like,
and
I
we
know
got
it's there.
home and he had a fucking chicken with like ice attached to it. And we're like, is that good?
Yeah,
is that
that's not
delicious
even
for
good.
you? He's like, oh, this is mine.
Oh, I like it. It's nice and cold.
Yeah. He's such a freaking asshole. But That's really the only thing he does that makes me want to kill him.
Lily just doesn't like. She doesn't really want to do anything, but then she doesn't want to leave anywhere. Like we were at Mary and Matey's, and we ended up like staying the night because we were drinking. And when we went to leave the next day, I was like, "Come on, Lily, let's go." And she like wouldn't get up off the couch. And then like I picked her up and I like put her down and I got her like harness on her stuff and I tried to pull her and she literally like leaned away.
She didn't even
And
get
I was
excited
like,
when you put the harness on
No,
her.
she's just like, "No, I want to stay here. I like it. It's fine." So then I have to like pick her up, and she does it too. Like we'll drop her off at the like the person who we usually have dog sitter.
Yeah.
And then she literally like will be like, "Nope," and she'll like stand by that person's feet, like, "You left me. Now I have a new owner."
Now this is my person.
Yeah. Now this is it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like she doesn't really. She
I was gonna
get
say,
into
that's not
much
bad.
Stuff. Yeah,
That's the-
sometimes she'll get into garbage, but now we just make sure that like the because we only have the garbage like under the sink and then in the bathroom. So as long as the bathroom doors are closed, there's nothing really for her to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one pro about having smaller dogs,
Yeah.
because that's something I never really dealt with Cora and Kane. They
Yeah.
never got into the trash. So, and of course, then I get home and he will get food that's like on the counter.
Yeah, in the sink.
And I'm like, that's insane. That's not, he should know that's not okay.
Yeah.
And Ben's like, well, he's a dog. And I
Yeah.
said, I don't care.
That's what I said.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
Look at him over there right now. He's like, "What? What's talking about?"
What about Nico? Does he do anything?
He used to try to get into the toilet, like drink the water out of the toilet.
Yeah.
But usually when I leave him at the house, I just close all the doors except for the room and then, what's the hall and then the kitchen and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He tries to get into the trash if the lid's off.
Yeah.
Oh, Ajax can open lids.
Yeah. Yeah. We know.
I'm sure he can. It's just that like every time I
He's a
see
good
him,
dog,
you know.
so he wouldn't.
Yeah,
That's so
exactly.
crazy. That's crazy. Is
Ajax is a good dog. He's good at what he does.
he?
He's good
Is
at
that
what
what
he
we would
does.
say? He's an asshole. That's what I would
But
say.
he's
I have
good
anger
at it.
issues.
That's okay, because Kane can't. He can't hold his bladder as long as every other dog can. Or I guess at least as Ajax and Cora tend to be able to. So like we left.
Or it doesn't make sense.
I know Cora literally. I have, and I think I've told you this before. I had a friend watch Cora, and when I was asking like, so how'd Cora do? The way they phrased something made it sound like Cora hadn't moved since I dropped her off yesterday morning, and I was picking her up like the next day in the afternoon, and I was like, surely that's not. So I was like, but I mean, you made her go outside, right? And she was like, no, she didn't need to. And I was like, no, she will just lay there and make you think she doesn't have to, but you have to make her go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so she literally, Cora hadn't been outside to go to the bathroom in over 24 hours. And she was just like, no, she didn't want to. She didn't go to the door. Yeah, because she just lays there.
Well, if I had 2 torn fucking ACLs, I'd probably be like, "Yeah, I'm good."
I know, poor Cora. But she never goes in the house. She never has an accident. I'm like, you've got fucking kidneys of steel, girl.
Damn.
But so we left the house last night at like 5:45, and we got home this morning at 9. So I mean, we were gone over 18 hours. Cora and Ajax hadn't had an accident, but Kane had peed. But that's like, I know if I'm gonna leave him for that long, he's just
gonna pee.
he's just going to. But it's not his fault. He can't help that. And as long as you crate him, you can like put puppy pads down,
Yeah.
and then bam, like
He's right there.
your problem's taken care of. But that's really all they do. Cora doesn't really do anything. I suggest everybody get a disabled dog. They're pretty great. They don't do much.
I think it might be a corgi thing.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's just
I've seen some crazy corgis.
I've seen some lazy corgis though too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
that's true. I have.
So maybe they're just like, flip a coin. You're either gonna get
Yeah,
a
I think it's
psychopath
an
or someone who
extreme.
like doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Opposed to like a Great Dane, they're all lazy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know enough about Great Danes.
Oh, big slobber monsters that just lay everywhere.
Yeah. And they just think they're little dogs, so they'll just sit on the couch with you and stuff like that. And then like standing, they're like 6'3", 150 pounds.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I did want to make a PSA, make a public service announcement, because I didn't know this, and I think it doesn't really affect me as much, but it affects a lot of other people. And so I think we should all be made aware. Whenever it's going to be like really fucking hot, like it was this summer, and like we were dying, that's very dangerous. It's actually very dangerous for humans to be out in the heat, especially if they don't know how hot it's going to be. Sometimes when you just hear the Fahrenheit, that's not a good judge for how hot it's going to be, because it's not taking into account humidity. It's not taking into account the compass or whatever else affects temperature. So anyways, a lot of times what people will go to is they go to the heat index, because that's supposed to be a lot more accurate measure. So, they'll be like, oh, it's the Fahrenheit is 94, but really heat index, it's 114.
Where they're like, oh, it's 94, but it feels like 100.
Exactly. So they're trying to give you an idea of like, hey, this is actually how hot it is, so that you can prepare yourself for like what you're going to do outside.
Well, how do you prepare?
Well, like you either try to change the times of your appointments so that you're not outside during the hottest part of the day. If you know you're going to have to go outside, you just try to make sure you have plenty of water. You try to make sure you have plenty of sunscreen, things like that. And the heat index, didn't know this. The heat index is all measured for a person who is 5'7" and weighs 145 pounds. So do you think 114 to you is going to feel the same to no? I'm going to think it feels a lot better than 114, and you're going to think it's a lot fucking hotter.
Hot.
Yes. So there are climate scientists who are realizing like, hey, this math is wrong. And I mean, in some cases, we're finding it's like dangerously wrong. So this summer, people were saying that it was the hottest summer for Chicago. And they were saying,
I heard that.
Yeah. And they were saying like on average, it was 114, 115 degrees. Like that's insane. Those heat numbers are so crazy. But when they go back and they actually reformulate it with the metrics of more average people to find out what a cumulative number would be, these climate scientists are like, actually, we're finding it was more like 130. So you need to really make sure you're looking at this, because if you're telling people, hey, don't worry, it's only going to be 110, and they're like, okay, well, I have to get my medicine. I guess I'll go to the store today. Like, no, if they knew, hey, it's going to be 135. Okay, maybe I'll wait and do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Early in the morning. Like, because there are a lot of people sensitive to heat.
Yeah.
It's one of the most dangerous things to us is just heat.
Yeah.
So I thought that was crazy when I was like, wow, the heat index is so skewed.
So it applies to you?
I can look at the heat index and be like, great, I know exactly how hot it's going to be. But for anybody else, any average human, they're like, yeah.
Just add 20.
So just just look at the heat index and add 15 or 20, and then you'll know how hot it's going to be.
I'm never leaving the house.
And I'm like,
During the daytime.
Yeah.
if we're actually in a world where we're already having summers where the average is like 130,
Yeah.
what do you even do? How do
What do you do in
fix
places
that?
like Phoenix?
Phoenix? How do you fix that?
Where it literally
They're
is
gonna
120 one
explode.
day, and they're
Go
like,
talk to
Yes!
them.
yeah.
Like they're gonna explode. I don't know. And I think the reason why they were doing Chicago is because Chicago is a more humid place, and the thing they were trying to show is that the heat index does not take into account enough humidity.
Yeah.
Because humidity, the one way that your body can cool yourself off is by sweating. But if the air is already really humid and the sweat can't evaporate off your body, then it's not cooling you off
Just
at
grains
all.
of salt come out of you.
Yeah.
So that's
Makes
why.
you more thirsty.
Yeah, so that's why they were looking at it. They were like, Chicago's a really humid place, so let's look there. And they were like, oh shit, it was like 130.
No one should have been outside.
Yes, and people were like, well, I
That
gotta.
explains why the tires were melting on cars.
I gotta Uber Eats. I gotta
Yeah.
deliver in my car. It's
You're
my
making them
job.
go out?
Like, no, that's
You're paying other people to go out.
yeah.
Well, too, and then there's like all the summer sports and stuff. Kids are just out there
Yes.
fucking doing whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so dangerous. And like, if they look at the heat index and they're like, well, it's under 112.
But I remember some of those days because like we would have, some like travel ball games, and you'd play in like 3 games in a day, and it's like 105, 106. Like literally between the games, you literally just sit in the shade, and you get those little they're just like almost in like a tube, and they're just, you could put them in ice water and then throw them around your neck, and you would
Yeah.
sit there and like sleep, and then
Yeah.
like, all right, time to go, and you'd be like, okay, game number 2.
I mean, it's obviously, I don't think we probably exert as much force as sport, like athletes,
Yeah.
but in marching band, I remember the same thing, because when you're wearing those
I was gonna
wool
say, yeah, you're in the
uniforms
fucking
that are in
thick ass, especially too, like walking around carrying your stuff, you're
long
constantly-
sleeve, long pants, it's fucking, yeah, we would have those water things, especially the tuba players.
Oh,
They would
yeah,
have
dude.
so many of those water
So
things.
I have a question. Like the tuba player, it's just a big piece of brass. Does the tuba get hot as fuck? Like, does he have to like wear gloves so he doesn't like, you know what I mean?
No, they do.
Yeah.
They wear gloves because it gets really cold and really hot,
Yeah.
and so it'll make their fingers more cold, and they can't move them as quickly
Yeah.
as they need to. So yeah,
Yeah.
both, yeah, hot and cold,
Just paint it. So it's not.
right? That's
Weatherproof it?
Yeah, that's
Bed
that's an
liner.
idea.
Yeah.
It would mess with the
Bed li-
acoustics of the instrument.
Ben, I don't need your fucking science on this. I know enough about science. Science isn't even right. Your heat index is all fucked up, so I don't even
It's
trust it.
not my heat index.
I don't trust it.
If it's over 60 degrees outside, it's hot.
Agreed. That's how it is.
And then I wanted to share a little tidbit of information. You guys might already know this, but I just learned it. We all know about the Challenger, right?
The car?
I'm sorry, the rocket ship, the US
Oh,
the
yeah.
US Challenger
Going to the
Yeah.
moon
that
for a second
that
time.
exploded in 1986.
Yeah.
So Paul,
You know?
No, I don't.
No, that wasn't Apollo. That was
Keep
the
going.
Challenger.
Okay, so yeah, Challenger is the USS Challenger. It was going to be an expedition to space. I think it had 7 USS astronauts on it, and it exploded, and like on live TV, because like it was airing, everybody was watching it. They were like, "Oh, we're going to space," and it lifted off, and then it exploded,
that in the
and like
70s?
we all watched it. What?
Was that in the 70s?
It was 1986.
So the 70s.
Oh my god. So
late 70s.
At this point.
So, I did not know one of the 7 that died was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
But like a legitimate teacher, like Ronald Reagan, who was president at the time, decided that he was going to give out as a prize a seat on the USS Challenger to go to space to one lucky teacher. And so he picked this teacher who then dies on the fucking Challenger.
And that's why we haven't sent anyone else back to space.
I had no idea. I had no idea that someone on that ship had
Willy Wonka.
had won. Yes, she had won the trip of a lifetime.
I remember hearing
fucking
that.
died.
Yep.
I had no idea, and they had over like 11,000 applications across the U.S. and they narrowed it down to this one teacher that got to go, and she also had a backup in case something happened and she wouldn't be able to go. And I came across a story. How I even know about this is I came across a story about her backup who got to go to space later when they tried again in 2007. Like they just used her, and she actually did get to go.
I don't know if I would-
Application.
And like it was successful and everything. Like she was able to go, and they lived. And I was just like,
Dude, if I was a backup, I wouldn't go.
Yeah. I would have been like, they're like, hey, it's 2007. Do you want to be like, fuck no. Give it to the third backup. I don't know.
I know. But she was like, no, yeah, I'm it. I'm ready. Which I mean, if you're going to volunteer for something like that you could die. I mean,
Although
I'm not diminishing their sacrifice because I know it all went to science and it was really sad and really
well, maybe
horrible,
this teacher,
but-
like it was 20 years later, and they're like, I'm not gonna make it to retirement. I'll just
yeah,
I'm
maybe.
already old.
test
Yeah.
my luck here.
Maybe this one will be quick.
Yeah.
I felt so bad reading about it. Like this poor woman, she had a whole plan. Like they were actually, when she went to the moon, she was actually also going to do a
Moonwalk.
class session from space. They were going to like air it and live stream it. And she was going to like give this cool little science lesson. Like she had all this plan. She had her lesson plan with her, and she just exploded. And it was,
You think there's shit on the moon?
Well, maybe it was her fault. It was too much weight on that.
I don't even know what happened. But so you know what's crazy? the Challenger did get delayed, so they were supposed to go like January 4th or something, and then they got delayed, and so then they didn't end up going until like late January, and then even on the day when they went, they were still running tests as of that morning, and they were like, let's just make sure, are we really gonna go? So like it was pretty iffy
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, it was, it was sad because she had kids and stuff, but and
Yeah,
that
he had
was
a whole classroom.
God damn it, Juan. But that was something that the teachers had mentioned. They were like, oh, you loved Krista. She lit up a room and she just loved science. It was just
Lit up a room. It's probably a bad fucking thing to say.
Wow.
they just felt bad because they were like, she had
Making
2
her
little
shine.
kids. I wish it could have been me because my kids were grown. They didn't need me anymore.
Yeah. How funny would be someone was like, I wish it was me. I fucking hate my kids.
I fucking
I fucking hate my kids.
It's not like, oh, my kids are grown. Like, and she had young ones. She's like, oh, my kids are a bunch of shitholes.
Oh my gosh, that makes me. Yeah.
Cool facts.
Yeah, when I learned, I was like, holy shit, that a seat was given away. How do you think he felt bad?
Ronald Reagan?
I would feel
Nah,
awful.
He was coked up and partied.
I would
Yeah,
think
dude.
about it every night before I went to sleep. Like if I was a scientist that worked on the Challenger, I think I probably would have drank myself to death.
Yeah.
This got really quiet. Like you were
You're
like,
like,
yeah, you guys were like, yeah, you probably should, Haley.